Hi, welcome back channel, TrainStation2. Alright, I really regretted updating as the new interface in TrainStation is very ugly and bad for my eyes. I mean, it's amazing how stupid it is for Pixel to do this upgrade that so much people hated it so much. And you can see lots of people are complaining in the fact that this upgrade of the UI is so terrible and people are thinking of leaving the game. There are much talks in the union. Everybody is thinking of deleting the game altogether. So this is really devastating. I think this is one of the worst upgrades ever, and consultation wasn't made, and everybody is hating it so much. So this is the complaints. I mean, you can see in the Pixel forum, and let's check out the amendments, also called the upgrades that was made as proudly presented by Pixar. They mentioned that actually the UI has changed, and throughout July they'll be implementing this, and now we face it. I mean, consequences of this really stupid upgrade. So you look at it, they say that all right, the depot itself, the easy identification of trains. When you look at the trains itself, there will be more details in terms of the options for upgrades will be visible, telling you the amount of the parts required. Looking at the warehouse is a new UI, let you know with the materials and the currency at fingertips. But it's not true. Looking at how the interface works, you see it's a 4x4 arrangement, and that's terrible because you got to scroll down and down and up and down all the time. That's really wasting time. And of course, is a more visual improvements. No, it's not. It is very bad for the eyes. I mean, the worst part is the contrast of the colors. You see, it's so glaring that I'll come to it later. But as of now, you can look at the jobs. It's like, why is this confusing? The total UI, we are getting used to TrainStation2 for so many years. I mean, suddenly there's a whole change, like say, like a new game altogether that makes people very confused, especially in the midst of a new event that we are actually fighting for. I'm so glad. I think they've completed what I wanted, but now again, thinking back, should we delete the game altogether and stop playing? So if you see the number of complaints that is actually on the forum is really very very long. I just want to show you what I've been seeing here. It says that people just say that, so in opinion the new UI looks terrible, make it more constructive. But actually, if you take the option of selecting between the old and new UI, I think most people will go back to the old ones. And I think in terms of collecting gold, you gotta scroll a lot to know what you need. And this is really something that we do not want this UI in the first place. It wasn't consulted, and eventually just implemented. It makes so many people so angry and so fed up with all this. So the picture is kind of old and not fresh at all. And yes, I totally agree with it. I mean, if you have not upgraded or updated your game, please do not update, because once I updated, I regret it so much. I really much prefer the old UI. And I think when you click on the information, you can't see details sometimes, because when they do this in the PC, probably, but if they use it in the iPad, maybe it's still not as bad. But if you're playing like me on the phone, I think that is horrible because it's so small. And I think what I really agree with one of the comment, let me show you, is really not everybody is as young when playing TrainStation 2. So personally, I agree. I don't like the new UI at all. And a lot of things are missing from the old game's UI. As you see correctly mentioned here, this person is very passionate about TrainStation 2, and he can pinpoint all the annoying things that's happening right now in the new UI, and it's totally not fixed. And it basically, I think, it disrupts the player. I mean, end of the day, these people are really putting, I believe they spend lots and lots of money in the game, and now they have been screwed up by Pixel Federation. I'm really glad I'm a free-to-play. I didn't pay a single cent, but imagine I paid lots of money building up from scratch for multiple years, and this is what happened suddenly, and we all hated the new UI, and we can't revert it back. I think that's horrible. Imagine this is one of your hobby, and your hobby is gone because it's no longer a hobby anymore. It's a much hated thing. The moment you look at it, you hate it so much. So I think this is the change I hate the most. Yes, that's the comment. I think most people liked it. Really, I will put a like to it as well. So the colors, the icons, are nicer and colorful. Yes, maybe some people like it, but not everybody. But I think most impossible to overview a one page for quick decision. That's true because things are appearing in larger. The font size, the color, everything is wrong. And you can see many of the icons and buttons are undersized. It's just too bright, and the contrast is really bad. So there's a need to click on and scroll up and down. And I think these are all the common complaints you can see from any people. And again, the same player, and it's like telling Pixar, "Hey, what happened to this and what happened to that?" I mean, there are a lot of things they are missing, and actually, I don't think Pixar is able to solve all this at the same time. And especially what is mentioned here is correct. People working on the PC, the phone and tablet is different thing altogether, and people playing on the phone are most affected, like myself. This is something I don't know whether it's share the same, but apparently I'm highly disappointed with Pixar Federation in this UI, and I think definitely not a plus in the UI upgrade. Later on, I show you the game. I mean, if you have not updated, at least you know how terrible it is. Do not click on the update button. So this video is just to warn you how terrible the UI works. I'm not too sure whether eventually Pixel will force it down to you even you have not clicked on the update button. Unfortunately, I did click on the update button thinking that it's a better UI. I totally regretted it, right? So I think this player mentioned is so true. We are so used to the old design, didn't find anything wrong, so why change it? It's really a lot of unpleasant commands, and you can see here, this is some of the few unpleasant features that I mentioned here. So you see less of the things than by default, the highest one, but now we're going to scroll up and down to look for it. It's total mess. Hate the new design, no logic at all. Scroll, click maniac, hate it and buy for now. So surely most people are players of the game really hate it, and again the same player so passionate about it. So this passionate player is just think that people click on scrolling up down, and I think it's a very confusion way. So the contrast, yes, this is the worst. I think this is really hurting my eyes as well. The color in terms of the contrast is so bad. I mean, later on I show you, I realize how bad the color scheme was chosen. Really, I mean, that's really true. Not everybody is teens or 20s anymore. As get older, eyesight get worse. I'm really going to improve that. Otherwise, it's really very difficult to play. Show you the gameplay, you can see the contrasting color is so bad. It's so glaring. This is really a minimized in terms of the brightness already, and it's still so glaring in the screen. If I took it further, I couldn't see anything. So the color scheme is terrible. I mean, this is I don't know. It is really poor taste, and I don't know why someone would have passed this kind of arrangement. I mean, yes, in a way, there are more information, but the font size, everything is so tiny, and you can see this. We can't see everything on one page, and we could keep up scrolling up and down. I think that is really terrible. And look at the jobs here. You got to scroll left and right, and everything is so small. It's so terrifying to play the game, and it's no longer as enjoyable. So everything else on the maps is the same, but the moment you click on something, your eyes just feel so painful because it's so glaring. And things has changed to be so small, and there's a lot of much more of scrolling left and right, up and down. And I mean, you can see the words are smaller. It's just not something that you're so used to anymore. And this is just very different game that we used to. Although I think I tried to share by reducing the glare, by lowering the brightness, but I think people are not getting it as well. Union members are complaining that they're giving up. Even the president is saying that he's going to give up the union for someone else if this continues. I don't know. I don't know whether should I continue to play Train Station 2. It's been what, 4 years since I started playing, and this is something I really enjoy on daily basis. That we are so passionate with. We just fight competition of the competitions, and this happens. I don't know. Maybe it's just getting used to it. I don't know, maybe you can put in the comments and share me your thoughts, but for me, I really not getting used to this. And if you see here, if you want to discard that job, you could click on the button that they're not used to. So this is something that you gotta be careful, because especially if you have gems, accidentally you could have spent gems on unforeseen or unplanned. So this is something to bear in mind, and I think this will slow down the process, and it just makes us spend more time. And to be frank, I really hate it. All right, thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe. Goodbye.